Hello and welcome to the Craftsman Show. My name is your host, the Craftsman. Today we finna talk about resin, wood, jewelry looking thing. The main ingredients we're gonna need for this is resin and wood. For the resin, I'm gonna be using this Art and Glow epoxy resin right here. And I got all kinds of little different pieces of wood right here, as you can see. Got some blue maho, got some peroba rosa. The reason I know, cause it says peroba rosa. Do y'all ever be looking at a piece of wood like this and just thinking things? Like, to me, I think about when the creator made all different trees. I don't want to say that he got carried away with it, but it's like a creativity explosion happened or something to be able to be making some zero coat looking wood like that right there. So the way you want to do this is break it and then separate it so you got some jagged little pieces like that. And you could just take a hold of this and just pull it and break it. All right. But I like to do a little bit more control method. And let me show you that right now. We about to jerry rig this right here. So as you can see, I got 1, 2, 3 scrap pieces of wood, and instead of breaking it right in the middle, I went ahead and said I'm gonna break it down on this end, and then I can use that other end down there. Now what I'm thinking is I might need to cut a wedge into that, you know what I'm saying? But let's just see what happens. All right, before I go all the way, I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there. And then let's see what we got. All right. I got it switched around and I'm gonna put some pressure on the other side like that. And let's see what happened to it. And then instead of just going ahead and breaking, I'm gonna try to pull it like this right here. And then there we go. And that's just about what we wanted right there. While we at it, let's go ahead and break some more. Let's see if we can control where the break's gonna go if we go ahead and put a little cut. All right then, so we got us some wood pieces broken and we're ready to proceed. The first thing I want to show y'all is the very absolute basics of this before we get real crazy with it. You want to get hold of you some clear tape like this right here, and it really ain't got to be clear, all right, but it has to be absolutely from Ace Hardware for this to work. Psych, it ain't gotta be. You can use Gorilla Tape, this tape right here. You can do just about anything. So you're going ahead and get your tape like this. Can y'all see that? Let me adjust this thing. So you're going to come in something like that right there. And you're just going to kind of, you know, to keep, look at this. You know, just have some patience with it. All right. Now, this is not the best example, but, yeah, that's really not the best example. Anyway, let's just go with it. Let's just tape it all up. I wanted to show y'all the method way that you can do it, just in case that might be what y'all had in mind. So, You're going to be at the very basic level pouring resin down into this, okay? And you need to make sure that all this is sealed so that your resin does not run down and out. All right. Look, I wouldn't even be mad if you just went ahead and took some tape around the bottom like that. You know, you got to keep it in there. See what I'm saying? Just keep, I mean, don't use up all your tape, but you know, hey, ain't too much resin gonna be leaking up out of this right here. The rest of it is up to you. You can just go ahead and pour you some resin and have you a clear top on this right here. But I'm gonna show you some ways that you can decorate this wood, get kind of a little crazy, have some exuberance going on with it. All right. So we just gonna mix equal parts hardener to resin. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. People always ask me why do I wear gloves, and it's because you know you get little things you have to clean out. Gotta clean. I just don't like to get chemicals on my hands. Now you don't have to wear gloves. I just see I could take my glove off and just, but then I will get something on my hand, and to me it's a lot harder to clean off. So I like to wear gloves. Now this is the resin side I'm pouring out right now. The resin is going to always be the thick side, okay? That's really the substance part of this. Now one thing I would say is it is very cold in my shop. It's about 45 degrees out here right now. That is not the ideal circumstances in which to be doing this kind of thing. You really a warm workshop, if you're doing this in your house, you know, something like that, that's really gonna be the best. Cause look at that right there. You want it to be better than that now. So we're gonna see how this turns out. It might not turn out, but that's okay, cause I know a couple more tricks up in my sleeve that could help us with this. And I can't see, so y'all gotta tell me when that looks good, cause my camera's right in front of it, so I'm having to kind of crane my neck around. Look, let's see. Does that look like a good A to B? Now I got me a little popsicle stick, and we just going to dump the resin, the hardener into the resin, and scrape along the sides. Make sure we get all of it. Now remember, when you're doing this, to scrape along the bottom of the cup and then scrape along the sides like that, the edges. That's going to help that resin and that hardener to combine, to coalesce, to get together, and that's what's going to make this start curing. All right. Don't think of it like they dry. They cure. All right. They form some chemistry together, and they say, hey, you know, let's go ahead and solidify. All right. One of the neat things that you can do with this is to get real creative and take you some little powders. See this right there? Take you some mica powders things. This is some crushed stone inlays. You know, maybe some little flowers. You know, you want to stick a flower up on there. I did this one right here. I took me some little quartz pieces that I had and got a mortar and pestle and crushed them up a little bit and stuck them down up in there. This one right here, I kind of got a little bit crazy with it. I wanted it to look like I took a torch and I just kind of lit up the wood right down that bottom corner. And then I took this material. This right here is some ore, some silver ore looking that I had. And to me, although this is a natural material, It just looks like something that would be, I don't know, from space. There goes the choo-choo train. Y'all hear that? Anyway, it looks like something that the Transformers would have came up out of. Maybe this could be like a crash site. Like, you know, this came down and just shoo, and you know, crash right there. And it's got little pieces all around there. See that? For this particular piece of wood here, this dark piece, I thought it would be neat to use some glow powder. I got this right here. This is the same company that makes the resin. I got me a little paper plate set up to catch all the excess powder. So you could actually probably go with it like that if you wanted to. But what I like to do is kind of come in a little bit and kind of dust off some of the high points like that right there. I guess kind of the look you kind of going for with these is splintered wood is going to look like, you know, it could be mountain tops. If it's these real sharp, jagged ones, it could be trees, representative of trees. And this can kind of look like a little snowy landscape with some trees protruding out. In this case, it's going to be some glow-in-the-dark snow. You know, there might be a story behind that. I'm going to go ahead and just tape this up and pour my resin. But now, sometimes you may have a situation where if you want to fix it into place, you could take you some super glue like this right here and just go choop, 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 like that. Now you also can just go ahead and tape up the wood before putting the powder in it. That's another thing that you can do. This right here is some malachite powder. Malachite's a stone that's real easy to crush and to grind it down into a little powder form like this. One thing you can do that'll help you with the viscosity of this to help it flow better is to put this in some warm water, and this should make it flow better, and it's going to warmify and change the viscosity. Also, that's going to help you to reduce the bubbles that's going to be in your final product, believe it or not. So that's something that you might want to consider when doing this, the warm water trick of the professionals. Now these may not look like much right now, but the next step is going to be we're going to sand on them and then polish it, make it into whatever shape that you would like. That's when things going to really start to happen. Anytime you're getting ready to sand wood or anything, wear a dust mask. Craftsman don't have a bench top sander. All I got right here is this little orbital sander. I can switch it to spin, and it acts about like an angle grinder, and it can for sure take off some material. So I'm gonna carefully just kind of go around this piece, flatten this side, go ahead and flatten down this other side. You know, think about what kind of shape that you want this to have. I hope you got your dust mask on when you're doing this, because I got mine's one on right now. So that's what we're looking like right now. And as you can see, I went ahead and drilled me a hole. So I'm gonna make this a pendant, and we can run us a little necklace cord through there like that. But as you can see, we got scratches out of this world all over. Look at this. It's so scuffed up and scratched up that you can't even see through it to see all the little wood details up inside of it. Okay, so what can we do about this? The answer is sandpaper. This is some wet or dry. And when I do these, I like to start with the 320 grit, and then I work my way up. Start with the lower number, not too low, but I like to start with the 320 and get it as smooth as I can. And then, you know, you go to some 1,000 grits. Maybe do you some I got some 600 and then some 1,000. It's just gonna be a process of working up to it. So I like to take me a little bit of water and just go ahead and, get the sandpaper wet. Like that right there. And then you're just gonna take and just sit here like this right here. Get you some, play you some music, some Otis Redding, some Creedence Clearwater Revival, something that you like to listen to when you're doing this, because it might take a little while. Once you feel like that's smooth enough, it's time to move on to the next grit. Get it even smooth. If you prefer to have a hard edge, a crisply defined edge, you might want to stick with sandpaper like that on a flat, hard surface. If you would like to have some gently rounded edges, you could use a sanding sponge. Look at that. See? It's squishy. Now what's going to really make this thing pop is when you put your finish on it. And at this point, you got all kind of options. I got walnut oil, CA/super glue, and some straight up just easy to apply acrylic spray. But please know that there's all kind of other things out there. Take you some wood and take some resin. Mix it together. Now it's a present. It's a present for your friend, for your brother, next door neighbor, or your mama. Necklace, pendant for your wife, instead of crafting all your life, all your life, all your life. See how easy it can be to do this? For real, anybody can be about it. Wood and resin jewelry, type of thing like that. Looking that crafting. This one right here made me think about The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, them books right there by J.R.R. Tolkien. How Bilbo Baggins had a pretty comfortable life, was kind of laid back, enjoying things. He ate good. When Gandalf shows up, part of me is thinking like, look, Bilbo, don't do it. Just stay at the house, And he did go through some things, but it had a greater long-term value than what he would have did just by sitting at the house. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes even when we get to low points and we do hard things and face really tough situations and circumstances, that's really, I think, what makes us into something of long-term value, that has eternal value. You know what I'm saying? Things shape us that we go through. Anyway, that reminded me of some mountains with some snow on it. See, we got that one little section with them bubbles coming up. Maybe Bilbo Baggins and Gandalf was up in there blowing some smoke rings or something. Otherwise, normally you don't really want bubbles up in your castings like that. You think of wood and think of a tree like a bundle of straws put together. All right. That's a whole bunch of tiny little straws all up in the sea. And they suck up the water when the tree gets thirsty. All right. So air can sometimes be coming up through there and saying, hello, 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 hello. The way you can prevent that is take your wood. Hold up. Is that you can take your piece like this and spray it. And then that's going to seal up them pores, the end grain like that. And hopefully you won't have no bubbles floating up. Unless you like bubbles, then don't worry about spraying it. Thank y'all so much for watching another one of my videos. I hope you like this. And I hope that you go on ahead and make you some jewelry, pendant, necklace, wood, resin type of thing. Be blessed and holler at me next time. Love y'all. Craft man. Stay to crafting.